Welcome to the Real Salty Podcast. Please join Stephanie and Caitlin as we dive into life in Florida, the good, the salty, and everything in between. We'll chat about real estate, family, sports, building a community, and all the unique things that make living in the Sunshine State so special. Plus, we'll bring on some amazing special guests to share their stories and expertise along the way. So grab your favorite drink and get ready to laugh, learn, and get a little salty with us.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Real Salty Podcast. We're so happy you're with us. I'm tired.
I'm so tired. We're so tired.
We had a really great weekend.
It was a good weekend. And I think every time there's a seafood festival, I've participated from a business perspective before. We obviously decided to add in another layer for me. Thank goodness it was so conveniently located.
Yeah, no,
that would have been bad. That would have been really bad for me.
Absolutely. For the good people that didn't stop by and see us this weekend, because I feel like everyone and their mother stopped by and see us this weekend.
Michael actually made a comment about that earlier today. He was like, every time I looked over at that booth, it was popping. I'm like, oh yeah, because we were talking about how the patio furniture essentially ended up being, it was fantastic, right? But
it was it was the VIP lounge that we dreamt it to be.
It was just where people could come and sit down for a little bit.
BYOB, BYOC,
BYO something.
Yeah, something. Bring it. Just bring it all.
Just bring it all, whatever you work. But yeah, as you were just about ready to say, the amount of people that stopped by to say hi, a lot of people would go by and they were excited about, what do you guys talk about? Oh, yeah. I've been looking for something like this. It was the amount of people that we met over the weekend or waved to or smiled to. And I'm pretty sure we were the only podcast there. So that was kind of fun too.
I think you're right. As busy as we were at the seafood festival this past weekend, and you're right, where our podcast booth was set right up across the street on Boardwalk Place from Stephanie's Brick and Mortar, Woody's Water Sports with Beach Brain Clothing Brand. And yeah, because you were bopping back and forth.
I was bopping back and forth. Not only was Woody's, we were renting jet skis all weekend. All weekend, which is fantastic. But then I had an extended version of what we normally have with Beach Brain. So there was always customers in the lot. And you and I had, on Friday, we'd figured out exactly how we wanted it to roll on Saturday. So we set up all these interviews with small local business owners.
Yep.
And honestly, these are people that have been actually asking us
to be on the podcast.
to be on the podcast. Yes. And we couldn't.
Ready. We were ready.
But they were too busy.
They were too busy. And honestly, you were too busy.
I was too busy. I just was. it was a good problem to have, but it was like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. So it was, I'm anxious to hear what the turnout was. Just in general,
I feel like a record had to be broken. You've been around longer than I have. It's been at least 5 years since it wasn't in January.
Yeah, January. The last time we had it in January was it must have been 24. Honestly, January of 24.
We did it in January. I'm saying we did it in 23. We did it.
You mean 22. Since October?
Yeah, when was it in October? 2020?
It's been a while. No, I don't. We might have. I actually don't know when the last time was. I really don't know what. I'd have to look it up, and I should know this answer, but I don't know. But I do know that it was a much better event. It wasn't cold. It was windy, but that's typical. And
it could have been
Boardwalk
worse.
Place East is fantastic. it's just turning the Tipsy Tiki. we adore them, and they've been such. They were sticking our stickers everywhere, all over their bar, and they have created such a following and an environment. And if you want to go to want to go to a place that like everyone knows your name, or you want to see the same people all the time, I'm telling you, that place is it. And last night, Michael and I stayed to watch the rest of the Bucks game. And there was this couple that was in from St. Pete. They just moved down here.
Nice.
And he had said, she said, I wanted just to take him he's from Atlanta originally, to a local bar that
Yes.
And then they were eating pizza, they were having the wings that were there, and I was like, "Oh, this is so great." So it was a really good time, but yeah, I'm tired.
Well, let's just and yeah, we're really tired. And honestly, Stephanie lasted kudos to you, man, because you lasted longer than I did yesterday. We were just talking in our pre-recording about how I definitely Irish goodbye on Sunday.
Oh, I love an Irish goodbye. It's one of my favorite things to
we
do, but
Yeah, we had packed up shop. We had actually packed up our booth a little bit earlier. Sorry, City of Madeira Beach. Than the 6 o'clock finish time of the seafood festival. It was like
there
4:30.
was like rain coming in
Yeah,
though.
there
I
was
mean, there
rain
was
moving
some
in.
rain.
We shut up shop. We went down to the tiki. Actually, funny enough, when I was collecting the last of my things out of your bay that we had been storing
Yeah.
there all weekend, I go, "Where is your wife?" to your husband, and he goes, "She's at the tiki." And I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I woke up yesterday morning going, "It is Sunday. We have
Sunday
been
fun
all
day.
business
Yeah,
Friday, Saturday, all
yeah, we were.
business." And I was like, I am enjoying my day. I mean, Saturday I had a day and I mentioned him on on the podcast last week, but unfortunately my 98-year-old friend is now in the
Yeah,
hospital. And so I had to go to the hospital on Saturday night. And there was, I mean, I was kind of emotional on Saturday night because of it. I
yeah,
was so freaking tired. And then
of
on top
course.
of it, I'm just,
When we were
I,
leaving Saturday night and you're like, "I'm headed to the hospital," I was like, "Oh god, girl, you are a
yeah.
saint." Yeah.
I got home at a little after I got home just before 10, so I guess that's not too bad, but anyway, so
That's
I
a
woke up yesterday saying
long
I'm gonna have a
day.
good time, and I had a
Yeah.
good time. I did have a good
Good.
time.
Mission
So it was good.
accomplished.
It was good, but
Yeah,
yeah, so I think again, another event for us, which is exciting, and,
I think we
kudos to
definitely
everyone.
yeah, we have some ideas. We definitely want to play next year too, of how we can revamp and kind of
Yeah,
amp up our podcast booth.
we can.
We have some special ideas. We definitely are maybe going to do some early morning interviews because now we
Yes.
know that the other
Yes.
business owners will be so busy. We had a lot of friends from the city stop by. Shout out to the mayor, Anne Marie Brooks, Max with Parks and Rec Department,
Mhm.
Jay. We had the new videographer, photographer, Jeremiah stop by. So
Mhm.
thank you so
Yep.
much for taking the time. And honestly, you're right. Everyone was kind of like, what's going on in here?
Yes.
Other than also becoming, which I'm totally fine with, the designated senior citizen sitting option. Because when we're not recording, somebody walks up and says, "Would you mind if my father sits down for a second?" God, please,
Sure. Please.
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 And
Yeah,
so
there was a need for a few more seats, I think, in the area. There was the nice stands that were up that, the tables, the
the
cocktail
cocktail
type
tables.
tables.
Yeah, which
But
I thanked the
but
city
yeah.
for putting right next to our booth. I'm like, "Oh, that's so good of you to bring my cocktail tables over."
Yeah. Right.
Like it was
That just
part of
makes it
our
more VIP. Yeah.
exactly. So, but
He's like,
no, it
"What's
was
supposed to go there?" He's like, "Beach brain." I'm like, "Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, we're gonna keep it right there. Okay, it's too much. Okay, we're
yeah,
good."
no, it's
So
too much. And honestly, I'm glad that you guys had it spread out like that because at one point I was like, do we need to just move over to where you are? We'll go next to the dumpster and
yes.
then your clothing can be, on the other
Yeah.
side of the lot. But we figured it out. There were a ton of people that actually stopped by and asked, like Stephanie said, the questions. What do you guys talk about? What is this whole thing about? We had a couple brave randoms actually just walk into the tent and sit
Yeah.
down and tell us that they are quote ready, let's go. And we're like,
Yes.
I'm sorry, who
Yes.
are you?
Yes, they're like, "So, are we recording now?" And we're like, "No."
Well,
"Well, I'm
and
ready to be recorded." I'm ready." "Oh,
right?
okay,
It was
sure."
either that or it was the people literally ducking in under the tent and then they would look up in the corners just to make sure we weren't recording live
Yes.
because they had something off collar to say.
Oh, yeah, or they would start with going, "This is not on the record."
Hey,
And we're
this
like,
is off
"Okay,
record.
nothing really is right now." So,
Yeah.
because we're not recording because we're still trying to figure this out.
Shout out
So,
to our friends in the Pinellas Sheriff's Department because they
yeah,
might have let
they're
something
so
fly
funny.
and then we were like on the record and they're like, never. No, I'm just kidding.
Never.
So no, we had too much fun and we definitely will be back next year. So make sure to stop by. We did confirm this was the 43rd annual
Yes.
seafood festival, people.
So amazing.
43 years.
Mhm. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing. And one of the, favorite lobster trucks on Sunday actually ran out of lobster.
I saw
I mean,
that
that
actually.
had to have been I'm certain that they've done enough of these that they know how much lobster that they're supposed to order and that there was just so many people that were getting the food that they ran out. So that's a good sign for everyone
Because
too.
when I kind of asked earlier about when was the last time it wasn't in January, we don't have to remember that. But what I was getting at was it just Saturday. I'm sorry,
It was a lot.
asses to elbows.
It was
The
a lot.
freaking streets, not only the main drag, Boardwalk Place, all the way up and down from Waltz's Fish House, I would assume all the way down to Hubbard's. Literally just constant traffic. It got to a point
Constant.
where even though I was right across a single lane road from your shop and your setup, I couldn't see you. Because
Yes.
you were, you
Yes.
were running around and doing everything you
Oh,
needed
I
to.
had
And
left
I was just like,
actually.
oh, you're cool. That's what I figured happened. Thank you.
I was like, she won't mind me. I'm going down to Pirates
Well,
Pub. I'm good.
so I don't think well, it's really good now because by being asked, what is your podcast about? So many times this
Yeah.
weekend, which was great. I have it down to a fine science now. I'm
Yes, you
just like,
do. You
do you want
actually do.
15-second version or do you want the 90-second version? Because I got
Exactly.
both, right? It's
We got
country
both.
and Western. We have both kinds.
We got both kinds here, folks. We got both kinds. And we might even change it in the middle of it if we think you're not engaged with it enough.
Yeah, the funniest thing that I guess was well, not funniest thing, but one of the more common things to were like, are you guys actually real? Sponsorships. And you know what? I actually had a thought when I left yesterday and told no one, and then went home and laid in on my couch and stared into space and thought about my life unvocally. I was sitting there silence. I went there and I was thinking in my head, I'm like, we really should actually probably reach out to
Yes.
we should actually probably reach out to the businesses we talk about, because somebody mentioned it's like, oh, we'll just randomly fit in. Like, and you know what else I love? Whenever I cook dinner in my
Yes.
friendly pressure cooker, this pressure cooker has 3 options. And I'm like, this isn't the Price
Or
is
we
Right.
could pre-record an infomercial. But you were even funnier though, because what did you say? I'd like
Oh
to
God,
thank
I don't even
me.
know what day
No,
was
remember
it.
someone said, do you have sponsors? And you're like, yeah, I'd like
Oh,
to thank
yeah.
me, myself. You went all Snoop Dogg.
You're like, well, is there anybody you guys want to give a shout out? Maybe some sponsors and things like that. And I was like, yeah, I want to thank me.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's pretty much right.
Okay, you too, obviously, because you are like the
I'm
brain
good with it.
behind all
I
of
don't
this.
need the kudos.
But no, he just asked me, and so I was like, yeah, I'd like to thank me. And I was trying to be funny.
It's going.
It came off more narcissistic than I intended, but it actually was. I was trying to make
No,
fun of that
you said it with
Snoop Dogg.
a slang
Well, I
Snoop
did.
Dogg, not full blown, but you did get close to it that I was
I
like,
did. Because I was like, just know that this isn't me. Like, I'm doing something funny. Like, and so Snoop Dogg, he got some awards somewhat recently, and he's up at the podium and he's thanking people. And then he goes, and finally, I like to thank me for never giving up on me and being me and like whatever it is. But yeah, no, I was like, the guy was in front of us, and I have to back up for the good people because I literally somehow just immediately went forward, like, yeah, I'd like to thank me. Like,
it was so I was like, I'd like to thank her too.
no, nobody wants that. No, but yes, thank you for bringing that up because I had totally forgotten about that.
There is probably a lot of things that are going to start having some flashbacks at us, unfortunately.
Well,
But that's kind of how we roll.
well, you had your Sunday fun day. I unfortunately wasn't able to fully participate in the Sunday fun day because I had too much fun the days before. I was there for it. Let's go Friday, right? By the time I got down to help set up our booth, I had already set up 2 other booths.
Yes.
So
Yes, you had.
I
And you
think I
got handed a
literally
pretty stiff cocktail on Friday night. And I was like, I can't do that right now. I've got too much of this weekend.
helped
I knew
me.
how the
Yeah.
weekend would go.
Well,
But
and then it was
anyway,
funny because we were mixing like crazy. And the last thing I'll say is that shout out to Delosas, their espresso martinis. Love it. And
yeah.
so we had a
And
couple
then
of those
Scully's had a fantastic Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the
they
espresso
had a good one.
martinis, as we're
Oh,
firing everything up on
Saturday.
Saturday morning.
Oh,
Saturday morning.
yeah, Saturday morning.
Yeah, we open up the bay, and I knew I have these amazing sparkle cups, the Jacqueline Ken cups that I actually purchased from the Bronze Lady in John's Pass. So shout out to the Bronze Lady. They come in all different colors. They're not cheap, but anyway, all I'm gonna say is that I misplaced it Friday night. Somebody said, "Oh my God, where's your cup?" And I went, and then I realized, oh, it's in Stephanie's business. I'm not
Yeah, it's
worried about it.
fine. Yeah, you're
So I
fine.
knew it was in there. So we go into the bay to open up shop on Saturday for our booth, and I go there, and sure enough, there's my sparkle cup right on your shelf, and right next to it is a full espresso martini.
Full espresso. I looked over and I said, "Well, that's not oil," because it was with all the jet ski stuff, and I'm like, "That's not
Yeah,
oil," and
it
I'm
must
not
have
sure
been
how that one got there.
the
That's like what you see
beans.
at a high school,
Yeah,
right? A
the
high school
beans that
party.
were still floating around, the coffee beans, God bless
Yes.
them, that they put
Yeah.
in for the garnish. And so apparently I
That's
just thought,
like, that's where you have a high school party and you just don't look in that one room. You
yes,
just are
and
like, "No one
you
went
get
in
busted.
there. No
Yes.
one went in there." That happened to me. I'm not even gonna lie. In high school, I had a big party, banger party, and my parents came home and I'd cleaned the whole house and they couldn't believe it. And my parents walked into their bathroom and busted. There I was, busted, because there was a beer sitting there right there on the counter,
Damn it.
busted.
I did
But yeah,
that.
that was the martini, or the yeah, the espresso
I'm gonna
martini. That
say,
was
you're
so
talking
funny.
about a beer sitting there. I got busted for even more. Like, shout out to Bambi for her Nancy Drew research, because do you remember the fridge doors that used to have the allotments on them for individual eggs? They had like little
Yes.
cups there that you could put the
Yes.
eggs on the door of the refrigerator, right?
Yes.
So I have a party and I'm in high school, and somebody apparently had opened the fridge and then slammed the fridge, and all the eggs went flying within the fridge and broke. Most of them broke within the fridge. Somehow it was late enough in the night. We never opened that fridge again.
Again.
Okay.
Oh,
So the next
no.
morning, my other little girlfriend that lives in the neighborhood, shout out to Lisa in Montana, we are scurrying around cleaning up my house, cleaning everything before my parents get back from Lake of the Ozarks and everything. Everything was spotless. And then the second they opened that fridge, just the
Oh
eggs
my
being like
gosh.
that was enough.
She knew. She's like, "You understand how
Who
to
else
close
has
this
been in this
fridge. Who's
house?
been in this
Who has
house?"
been in this house besides
Yeah.
you and Lisa? And
Yeah.
I was just like, what are you talking about? And apparently I was weak as water back in the day, because I just folded like a brown paper bag. And I was just like, I'm sorry, we had a few people over. Blah. And I'm just thinking back, I'm like, could have got away with it. Could have just
Probably
said,
could have.
Lisa and I
She must have forgotten.
were fighting and she slammed the door. No,
Yes, something. Lisa forgot, whatever it might have been.
whatever. You know
But
what?
anyway,
Nothing
again,
horrible happened. So
that's
yes,
right.
we had an absolute fabulous time at the seafood festival. There is a little bit of content we were able to capture. So tomorrow night,
Yes.
rest assured, we're going to go
We'll get
through
it
it.
taken care
We're
of.
going to figure it out as we're editing this episode too. But you mentioned the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Fantastic. Win.
Yes, I mean, playing the Saints
Yes.
is always a rivalry, and so it's always a little bit. And it took us a minute to get started. Unfortunately, the Saints they just never did get started. So, but yeah, so we did well, and we can carry on to the next game. And you always
Some
wonder
things to
coming
work
off of a
on.
loss if it's going to
Yeah.
start. A
Yeah.
whole situation. But I will say, as a quick story.
Yes.
Someone asked Baker last week after Detroit's loss, how is Detroit's loss? Is it really difficult? And he went on this whole tangent and he's like, yeah, I mean, it stinks. He's like, but that's the way it is sometimes. And he
Yeah.
proceeds to tell this story to the reporter about how he went to Pinellas Park one day he's like, I went to P Park and a guy was out there trying to get some money and I pull out a 20 and I give it to him and I'm like, okay, here he is. He can take this. He's like, he looks like a typical Florida guy. He's got, leather skin and he's hanging out and he looks like his luck is bad. And then all of a sudden I go back out there and he's now back in there and I'm just trying to get a Gatorade and he's bought all these things. He's got scratch off tickets. He's got this. He opens up his wallet. He's got a wad of 20s. And I'm like, well, he doesn't live in P Park. He probably lives in Treasure Island. What am I doing? I gave this guy my 20 and he's like,
hey man, yep.
he's
Not
like,
quite
I got played. He's like, so there are other people that have but beating Detroit. losing to Detroit isn't fun, but there's other things in the world to worry about. So I thought it
Yeah,
was so
no, I
funny.
think you would have took yourself out back if you would have lost to the Saints and not the
Yes.
Lions, because
Yes.
just given the
That's right.
record this year, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, funny enough, divisional rivalries, right? I'm
Yeah.
still learning. You had to explain to me. I'm like, oh, is that like part of your division? And she's like,
Yes.
yes. So I'm still learning outside of the Chiefs
Yeah.
AFC East
Sure.
division.
Sure.
But I will say this, I had a very vocal Broncos fan come to the booth, and I don't know if you were there or not. Actually, I think you were.
Oh, on Friday night.
Um,
Yes.
on
Yes.
Friday night,
We
and
were
he
just
was
kind of hackling
decked
people and
out.
he hackled back.
He had the Broncos shirt on. He had a Broncos hat on. Him and his wife were kind of moseying by. I think they originally stopped just to say, like, what do you got going on in here?
Exactly.
And
I'm
then,
pretty sure I yelled at him, "Are you a Broncos fan?" But whatever.
well, okay, yeah. And he's like,
Probably.
label out. And so all of a sudden, everyone's having a good time. Somebody might have had a few more beverages or Bush Lights than he normally does. And he's kind of running his mouth a little bit. And then I go, well, you know what? We're telling him about the podcast, and then basically by the end of it, and I was like, and trust me, you'll still like it, even though I'm a Chiefs fan. And I kind of
Yes.
smiled at him, blink, 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 and he had this look like it took him a second, and he goes, like he was gonna rear up or something, and then basically he's like, well, no, he's like, go Broncos, this, that. And he's like, and guess what? I'll tell you one thing. And you and I are just waiting on bated breath, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll
Yeah.
tell
What are you
you
going to
one
tell us?
thing. Who beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl? And I thought you were going to be like, the Bucks, And so, but we're both silent, just like, what is this mother going to say?
I
And
was like,
he
I
goes,
don't even.
who beat Broncos? And we were just like, okay, great. Yeah, okay, good luck. And so he moseys off. Trust me, Stephanie and I Googled today, have the Broncos ever beat the Chiefs in the
Yeah.
Super
Have they
Bowl?
even
The
played each
answer
other?
is no.
Well, how would they, right?
They
Because they're in the
have.
same
They have
division.
played them. Well, actually, back in the 60s, I think we looked it up,
Oh,
or
maybe.
50s before something
That's
happened.
true.
I don't know.
I
Either
mean,
way,
I don't even know why he would go that far back to even talk about it, but he was running his mouth because he was just trying to figure out something to talk about. But
but I'll tell
yeah.
you what, if I was a Broncos fan, I would make a T-shirt that literally says, "And who beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl?" Dot 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 dot
Yes.
dot, and on
Yes.
the back it would say Broncos.
It actually might say Tampa Bay, but we won't go there.
Well, I mean, apparently we're not
Well,
fact checking,
yeah,
so he's just spitting random shit talking to me about
it was.
non-facts. I'm just like,
Yes.
okay,
He's just
have a
making stuff up as he
have
went.
a great time. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
hate
his
to
and
be.
his wifey was like, "That's right, honey. That's
I'm gonna
right,
take.
honey."
I'm gonna take one from my grandpa's book and be like, "Well, thanks for calling,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
we're done now." So
We're done now. We're done now. But
good,
yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what? Yes, the
But you
Bucks did
got a
great.
game tonight too, which is
Um,
exciting. Michael was going to try and go to the game tonight, and
oh, he told me.
thank goodness he didn't decide to, because he would have wanted to see Jaden
Well,
Daniels
I
playing.
also I also forgot to tell you that your husband and I made a wager on tonight's
Oh,
game,
oh
and
gosh.
so there will be money
What?
exchange.
Probably $5, right?
Actually, it was $5. How do you
Yeah,
know that?
that's about what he would do. Yeah,
Is
that's
that a
about all he
joke
would
too?
do. Yeah,
I got
yeah,
$5 in
yeah.
this, and
That's a
so yep.
typical wager for
We
him.
did a gentleman handshake agreement, and I will enjoy spending the $10 on a glass of wine for your wife, Michael. No, I was kidding.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know what? The last time I got cocky on a Monday recording, it did not end well for me.
Yeah.
So all I
Yeah,
will
we'll
say
see.
is good luck to everyone
Good luck
involved,
to
and may
everyone.
no one get hurt. Cheers.
That's right.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's pretty much all you can do is
Well,
right
after the
now is
last
for
episode,
sure.
after the other episode where I said something about Tyreek and that, like,
Yes.
I might be a witch. I think I might be a witch. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Well,
whoopsie.
and then I think even last week it was, I think,
But
did
what
the
did I
Bucks
do?
play last week? No, Bucks played last week, and it was like everyone needed a cart. The golf cart was just
I
constantly
didn't have
busy. It was
anything to
so
do with that.
no.
Just so you know,
It's
I
so
had
sad
nothing to
that
do with that.
these
Yeah.
injuries are bad. So,
Yeah.
but that's all
But
right. I mean, it'll be
the
fun.
end of this week, we will be playing golf because we know how to
Yes,
do that.
we
And
do. We so do. We're so
we'll make all
talented.
those arrangements of what we're going to wear later because we basically just backburnered the hell out of that after
Yeah,
Seafood
we were
Festival was
really
thrown.
interested in it about 6 weeks ago, and here we are now, and
And
still
we have
need.
nothing. So
Nothing.
yes,
We'll
we'll be
figure it out.
playing golf with the Pinellas Beaches Chamber. Shout out to them. I know they've done this Halloween annual golf charity event a couple of years in a row. So if you are a local business owner, then you find yourself in Pinellas County, I highly recommend joining the Pinellas Beaches Chamber. But other than that, more local, more closer to home here. We got a few things coming up early November. So we want to get ahead of it for you good people and tell you about what's actually next week. We are in November.
Yeah.
So, which is fine because
It's fine.
what is that? 4
Everything's
more
fine.
weeks until we get to go ding dong, season's gone.
That's right.
Beep, beep, beep.
That's
So,
right.
all right. But conversations with the mayor, we did attend last Wednesday. We told you good people that we were going to do so. One of the major topics that was discussed there was the bigger purchase that was done here, just coming onto the
It
island from
just closed last
150th.
Wednesday, so that was exciting.
Yep. Shout out to the city for actually finding out what the people want there. Okay?
Yes.
So
amazing.
One of the things that we actually heard at the meeting was Chuck Dillon within the planning and zoning and I believe department of the city. Yeah. He stood up and talked about how happy he and the other staff members were to see the turnout at this informal conversations with the mayor, that which is awesome, that she puts on multiple times, different days of the week to make sure people can try to, attend at least one. But Chuck Dillon stood up and said, what I implore you people to do is to actually attend the commission meetings, the planning meetings, the workshop meetings, where we actually take that, because this is all off record, right? In these impromptu, or not impromptu, what is the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, no, they're just, they're not official at all. I mean, it's just neighbor feedback.
It's a conversation. That's what it is.
Yeah, a conversation starter to make sure that everyone is,
so
kind of moving in the right direction.
He took it upon himself to say, I implore you guys to actually show up to the meeting where all of these things are going to be able to be put into action, or at least put on a docket to be discussed to possibly take action with. So we want to make sure that we mention that the next planning commission meeting is actually November 3rd. Okay. So this is fastly approaching. This is going to be the next Monday, actually. And that's going to be held at City Hall from 6 to 8 p.m. And then actually, guess what's back in Madeira, girl?
Oh, yes. I heard them talking about it last week during the commission meeting about King of the Beach. So that's
King
fun.
of the Beach. Right?
People love that. I mean, it's such a great event for Madeira Beach. And we obviously didn't have it last year because of...
No.
We just couldn't even house it. We were, we just couldn't even house it.
The fall King of the Beach actually is held like this year. It's November 6th, 7th, and 8th. And it's the 32nd annual. So last year, early November, or the first weekend in November, if that's when they normally do it, we had just gone through Milton on October 10th. That was not even a month later.
It wasn't even a month later.
Right. Yep. So they had no choice but to move that fishing tournament inland. I'm not 100% exactly where it occurred last year, but we're back. So we're back. It's going to be happening out of ROC Park. The captain's meeting actually takes place on Thursday night. And then actually the community party is Friday night from 5 to 9 p.m. Tournament fishing and weigh-ins are going to occur on Saturday. And of course, the award ceremony and payouts will also occur Saturday night. If you're interested in participating, apparently it's still an option. So it's $350.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's great.
Yep, $350.
Maybe people were slow to start this year just to make sure everything was going to pan out the way they wanted it to. So that's great.
But trust me, people, if you're not going to attend to get on a boat to go actual fishing, there is a lot of events that are going to be held right at ROC all weekend long. They're going to have 3 days of live music. There's going to be a kid zone. They're going to have carny games. Actually, I just read that off and now I'm pausing. Carny games? I didn't realize carny was actually a real word. I thought it was a slang slur.
I thought it was too. Maybe they decided to call that. I don't know. That's interesting.
I'll take useless shit for 500, Alex, because Austin Powers has a movie where he's like, he's got carny hands, babe. Oh my God, Caitlin.
Always a movie quote.
Anyway, there's going to be local food vendors, beer and cocktails. Over 70 vendors are going to be there, actually.
That's amazing.
So this is going to be a big deal within ROC Park all weekend long next weekend. So make sure you join. November 6th. And then, good people, before we get into November, we have one other event that I wanted to make sure to talk about tonight, and that is the annual Halloween bash at the Bamboo Beach Bar.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
So personally, last year, since we're on the topic, I remember the Bamboo
You
Beach
did
Bar's
do it last year.
costume party. I did not participate, but I remember they were able to
To
scrape
still
and
have one.
ground and open up enough of the outside
Yes.
area to where it was, honestly, to tell you the truth, honey, it was all locals. It was
Yeah,
all
of
of
course it
us
was. Yeah.
limping there, scrounging there with everything that we had
Half the
been through.
electricity still wasn't even on the
It was
island.
so dark, right? So, but I will say this, it was the one sense of normalcy that I remember occurring right after the hurricanes, to where this is nice.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna be okay. We're
Yeah.
gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So I
I was
love
so
this.
happy when you went to that because that was just a lot. There was just a lot going on.
So, but this year is going to be totally different, back to normal. Let's party. So, the Halloween bash is going to be this Friday. It starts at 7 o'clock, but the Bamboo Beach Bar is pet friendly. Most of the restaurants and shops in John's Pass are pet friendly, but what
Yes.
I'll say is Bamboo takes it to another level. Like, they actually have a dog menu. I don't think a lot of people know that.
I actually
There's a
didn't know that.
there's a dog menu that you can ask for at the Bamboo Beach Bar, and it's drinks, burgers, like it's so cute. Pup cups, like it's so freaking cute. So because they love our furry friends, the costume contest is actually two parts. The best dog costume itself will be at 9 o'clock for the awards, and the best adult costume will be at 9:30. You're gonna have Bamboo gift cards galore to win.
Well,
Again,
I
this
saw some of the pictures from John's Passes because they did one over the weekend at the seafood festival.
Yes, they
And
did.
there, I mean, people really get into it.
What's
That's
that? Spare no
cool.
expense, right?
Spare
Yeah,
no expense.
spare
Exactly.
no
I mean,
expense.
I will not be at the Bamboo because we'll be in our neighborhood. Michael and I like to sit in our driveway and hand out candy, and
But you
I
have a
just
great
sit there.
neighborhood for that,
I
though.
just sit there. I just sit there and I do nothing. And Michael runs around and I do nothing except for just sit there, and it's fantastic.
That is
Yeah.
exactly what you need to do.
Mhm.
If we had more kiddos that actually came through, we don't. So
Yeah,
trick or
no, I
treating
understand
is
that.
not an option.
We
But
have buses that come into my neighborhood and drop off kids.
when are you guys giving out full candy bars in there? Like, what do you got?
Maybe might be.
Okay, well, maybe I'll be there. No, I was kidding.
Exactly.
All
Exactly.
right. So the other thing that we wanted to make sure to mention, and this
Yeah.
is unfortunately kind of a sadder topic, but with all of this hurricane talk, we would be amiss not to mention that the people in Jamaica, you have our thoughts, you have our prayers, you
Yes.
have our well wishes, you have our hearts right now,
Yeah.
because it's coming right for you.
It is. I found myself with the Weather Channel on with it. I mean, we've already know that I'm geeky
Yeah,
like that, but beyond
I
that,
know.
I still found myself sitting there kind of glued to it because their lives are about ready to be rocked and changed. And as people that are a year out, and I know that we have more resources, I'm not amiss to know that. I do understand that we have more resources here, but I assure you, you will get through it. You just will. And you'll come together. And I think that one of the things that we loved about this community and why we just kind of embraced everything with it is that you really see how much of a community you can become. So yeah, all the prayers to them right now.
Seriously, all the thoughts. I know you and I both just basically had our stomachs kind of drop out our holes, but it's just,
Yeah.
it's a direct hit. It's a Cat 5, which I think historically has never made landfall in the Caribbean like this, let alone
No.
Jamaica. And so, God be with all the people that are still left on that island, because please take every and all precaution that you can to preserve life, because that's basically where we're at right now. And
Yes.
if you got out or you canceled before you went, good on you. But
But
gosh
some
darn
people
it, there are
didn't.
people that cannot and they aren't able to. And it's heart wrenching, because you just, again, after what we went through and we heard about, locals and friends of ours getting rescued off their roofs during, this
Yep.
is a totally different thing. This is a totally different hit unfortunately.
Yeah,
It's
no, we
dead
were just a
on.
storm surge. Yeah, we just
Yeah.
had the surge and it was 100 miles
I feel like
offshore
it
and
would
we
be
didn't
a
have the wind with this
combination
one
of Helene and Milton
and melted all at
together
once.
on steroids.
I
And
can't even
my brain almost doesn't even
I
pull
can't
in
even
like what
process
the
it.
actual realness of that is going to be. But
No.
just know that we will not
You'll
stop
get
thinking
through
about
it.
this.
You'll get through it.
Yeah. And prayers and thoughts to everyone. So
Yeah.
we didn't actually mean to end on a Debbie Downer note, but just
Yes.
know that, occasionally we need to realize that when you go through something, it changes you forever,
It does.
right? And so then you're more mindful or cognizant of when other people are about to or been through something similar to yourself, and you just never see it the same. You
Never
never see it
do.
the same.
You don't.
So
It's so crazy. So,
in the meantime, good people, make sure to hug the ones you love, text the ones you think about, and say a prayer for the people of Jamaica. And they're going to need our help on the other
yep,
side
they
to
are going to need our help is
make
right.
sure that we're ready and able. So, again, guys, thank you so much for your attendance at the Seafood Festival. It was such a joy to see all of your
It
smiling
was. It was
faces.
a lot of
And as
fun.
always, new episodes every Tuesday on YouTube and Spotify. Please feel free to give us a follow, like, and share on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, even though I don't know how to work it.
So,
um, and other than that, guys, please stay salty and sipped often, especially for the people in Jamaica. So
yep,
cheers to them.
that's right. Cheers to them is right.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.